Hello, students. Hope you all are fine. In the last class, we have started with the chapter Role of the Family, Peer Group, and School, in which we have covered role of parents, types of parenting, what role should they play in the life of an adolescent, which leads to positive development. Today, we'll start with role of peer group in the life of an adolescent. During adolescence, peer group plays an important role in their life. They stabilize influence for young people who are in conflict with their families as they give them comfort, they listen to them, associate with them, have good bond with them. Peer group have more importance than parents during adolescence as they share the same liking, same interest, same thinking. There is a peer culture during adolescence which they follow, in which they are having particular kind of dress, music, language, behavior, and ideas. If they will not follow this style of dress, language, or any kind of this peer culture, they will feel neglected, ignorant, and develop inferiority complex. Teenagers reject parental influence in their lives and identify with their peers as they are also dealing with the same type of emotions. They adopt different strategies to help themselves to resolve their own personal identity crisis. They try out different roles. They try to be good girl or boy or maybe rebellion, a dutiful daughter or son or obedient student, an athlete, and they may join different social groups. Out of these experiences, they gradually put together a cognitive framework for understanding themselves in a better way. Once this framework has formed, it remains fairly constant and serves as a guide for adolescents, and it helps in solving them their personal identity crisis. Peer pressure can be of two types. First, we'll talk about positive peer pressure. A positive peer pressure can boost adolescent self identity, self esteem, and make him self reliant as they listen to them, associate with them, and helps them to understand them in a better way. They can mobilize their energy, motivate them, and they can even encourage healthy behavior as how to behave in a social group if they are donating something or doing some social work. So they encourage kindness and sympathy in them. They can mobilize their energy as youth is full of energy. So it's better to utilize it in a positive way and in a meaningful way. They can be positive role models at times. If all members of the pair are good in academics, so ultimately the other members will follow and they will also try to be good in academics. Pairs demonstrate appropriate social behaviors. They listen, accept, and understand each other, their frustrations, their challenges, concerns associated with being a teenager, and try to resolve them with their understanding. They help each other in studies and emotional stress. They can also enhance leadership qualities, especially in sports, but there is negative peer pressure too, which will affect the life of an adolescent in a negative way. As adolescents need acceptance, approval, and belongingness is vital during adolescence. Teens who feel rejected might engage in risky behavior like substance abuse. Teens away from the family can indulge into dangerous activities. Once influenced or followed these activities, teens may continue to slide into problems with law, substance abuse, school problems, gang problems, etc. So negative pressure can harm the life of an adolescent. So one must be careful while selecting your friends so that it will help to have a healthy and a positive life. Now we'll study about role of school in the life of an adolescent. Typically, the adolescents complain about their school, restrictions imposed on them, homework given at school, courses, food in canteen, and the way the school runs, the administration, management, etc. They are critical of their teachers even. This is just to gain attention and in a way trying to act smarter. Peer pressure and parental attitude influences the adolescent's attitude towards the school and teachers. Their attitude towards a subject is determined by how well the student perform in that subject. Means if they are performing good, they will be liking that subject for the whole life. How he feels about his teacher. If they like their teacher, the way of their teaching, if the teacher is unbiased, understand them and give them positive reinforcements, so there will be liking for the teacher and also for the subject. Appropriateness of the subject and the practical value of the subject in the life of an individual. Adolescents gain greater ability to think critically, which means they do not memorize the things now, but they analyze it and make judgments about what it means relating to the other information and consider ways in which it can be valid or invalid. So, it leads to the development of critical thinking in an adolescent. Now, the role of school in the process of socialization. In school, teachers create conditions for proper behavior and habits. That is why there are some restrictions in the school. They make each child in a class feel responsible for his actions, behaviors, or whatever he does. In school, student councils are organized in which they establish the rules of conduct and follow them. School gives the students practical experience of living in the society. School organizes various curricular and co curricular activities like outdoor picnics, competitions, etc., which help them to become more active and give them experience. They learn to live a life of mutual help and cooperation. Now we learn how to develop good communication skills with family and society. Here, parents play an essential role in building adolescents' communication. Adults, parents, and teachers set a powerful example of good or bad or poor communication. Communication skills are influenced by what children see and hear. So, parents, adults, and teachers should be careful what they are saying, what they are doing. Parents and teachers who listen to their children with interest, attention, and patience set a good example of communication. Some suggestions for parents teachers for improving communication in children. First one is avoid dead end questions like did you have your lunch? Have you completed your homework? etc. Encourage talking like give them some cue points. What will happen if you do this? Talk to them. If they are saying something, listen to them patiently, give them attention, and it will lead to the encouragement of talking. Listen to them patiently as you are giving them attention and your time, which is the most important thing in the communication. Extend conversation. If you avoid dead end questions and ask questions in between, like if they are saying you have done the homework, yes, in which subject you are having problem, So let's discuss how to solve this problem. Share thoughts with adolescents. As you are sharing thoughts with them, they will also feel comfortable to share their thoughts. Reflect feelings. You will also feel their feelings and reflect accordingly. Listen to non-verbal messages, like they don't want to say, we don't want to go there, we don't want to do this. So you also have to understand their non-verbal language. And lastly, help in clarifying and relate experiences of your own. Suppose they are in some problem, so you can also tell them, when I was of your age, I was also dealing with some kind of problem, so I have done this and I came up with this solution. You can also try it and deal with it. If you are relating your own experience, so they will also feel, my parents also suffered from these kinds of problems and solved them, and now they are leading a beautiful and a healthy, happy life. So, these are some suggestions for parents, teachers, which will help in improving communication in children. So, students, we have covered today role of school and role of peer group in the life of an adolescent. In the end, I would like to say adolescents suffer from so many problems, but here parents, school and peer plays an important role to deal with these problems, and most of the problems can be solved with the help of good communication. If they are having good communication which helps them to share their views, to share their emotions and thoughts, which leads to positive development. With this, we have completed this chapter. Thank you.